John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, and a proud member of the Ghana Journalists Association. The Right Honorable Speaker or representative of the Right Honorable Speaker here this afternoon, Your Lordship, Justice Paul Bafuboni, Acting Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu, Minister of State in charge of Government Communication, Honorable Minister of the Interior, the Regional Minister, my very good brother, Directors and Presidential Staffers present, Ministers of State present, Mr. Alex Dade Group, Chief Executive Officer, KGL Group of Companies, Nananom, Members of Parliament present, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, Chairperson of the National Media Commission, heads of media institutions and partners, members of the GJA National Executive and National Council, members of the Inky Fraternity, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the National Executive to the 29th GJA Media Awards here at Menchia Palace in Kumasi. And I hasten to note that this is the first time, as far as I can remember, that the annual GJA Media Awards, the flagship event of the GJA, is taking place in a regional capital other than Accra. And there could not have been a better town than Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital, to organize the event. And also taking place at the Royal Seat of Menchia, the help of Ghana's culture and tradition makes it more memorable. I humbly welcome you all. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, I stated before and address this august audience, totally humbled by the presence of revered and distinguished personalities such as the Asantehene and patron of the 29th GJA Media Awards, the President of the Republic, the Speaker of Parliament who's represented here, and the Acting Chief Justice. At the risk of being branded naive and Gen Z, I wish to submit with pride that I don't remember the leaders of the three arms of government attending an event organized by the leading umbrella body of the fourth estate of the realm at the same time. This is the first time. This is indeed unprecedented, and I am grateful to our distinguished statesman for doing us this great honor. I wish to particularly applaud President John Mahama, a venerable member, a proud member of the GJA, for taking keen interest in the affairs of the association. Mr. President, we are indeed grateful. Your Majesty, I also don't remember the Asanteman or Asantehene ever hosting the GJA Media Awards, thereby adding culture and tradition, passing to the flagship event of the GJA, a favor we will forever cherish. I want to thank you, Nana, for your kind support, and I also wish to thank the Nananum of Asatiman for your generous support in organizing this historic event. Nananum, Nana, we are grateful. Your Majesty, another thing I don't remember is the annual GJA Media Awards being organized in the regions. This is the first time we are organizing the event outside Accra. As I indicated earlier, the national and Greater Accra Regional Capital. And we could not have settled on a better place than Kumasi. I thank the National Executive, the Ashanti Regional Executive, and the 29 GJA Media Awards Planning Committee for making this possible. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, the unfolding of history and the overthrow of our joy today have been made largely possible by the kind sponsorship of no other person than Mr. Alex Dade, the Group Chief Executive Officer of KGL Group of Companies. The decision to move the awards from Accra to Kumasi presented a huge financial burden. But for the support of Mr. Dade and his company, we could not have practically delivered this big dream. I must note that for the past 4 years and not today, Mr. Dade and his company have been of tremendous support to the GJA and its activities. We cannot thank them enough for their vulnerable support. We are also grateful to the government for the continued support. We equally want to thank our supporting sponsors, and I mean Ghana Gas, Tobinco Group of Companies, SNIT, Ashanti Green Initiative, Special Eyes, NHIS, NCA, Copy Ghana, RNAK, Holdings, Ashfoam, Turkish Airlines, Ministry of National Security, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Passion Air, DVLA, Ghana Police Service, Stanbic, and InnoLink. GJA Media Awards. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, the annual GJA Media Awards is organized by the National Executive to fulfill the association's objective of rewarding journalistic excellence and promoting high professional standards. This year, 29 journalists will be honored with winning awards in the various categories, while 7 media houses will also be recognized for program and institutional awards. I am happy to inform you that the Turkish Embassy and the Turkish Airline, who is heavily represented here this afternoon, have agreed to sponsor a trip to Turkey for the top 3 award winners. Namely, the PAV Ansar Journalist of the Year, the Best Female Journalist of the Year, and this time around, the Student Journalist of the Year. We want to thank the Turkish Embassy and Turkish Airline for their generous support, and we wish all award winners the best of luck for the 3 topmost prizes. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, the 29th GJA Media Awards is on the theme, Safeguarding Ghana's Future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against galamsey. The careful choice of this theme was informed by the cardinal role of the media, the cardinal role the media plays in national development, particularly in protecting the interests of the nation. In discharging this mandate, the GJA believes there are 3 critical issues currently confronting the nation that the media must help to address. These are the promotion of peace, the provision of security for the people, and clamping down on illegal small-scale mining, popularly called galamsey. We focus on these 3 critical areas. We believe the media would make the necessary impact to safeguard the future of Ghana. Promoting of peace. Your Excellency and Your Majesty, peace is an essential commodity that cannot be sold or bought cheaply. Ghana's future is about development, but development can exist in the absence of peace. We commend our very own President, Mahama, for his timely intervention in nominating Your Majesty, the Asantehene, to lead mediation efforts in the Boko conflict. a move that has helped to ensure relative calm and stability as we speak. We believe this model can be extended to other conflict-prone areas so that communities across Ghana may also enjoy the peace needed for development to thrive. The GJA therefore urges continued government support for such traditional-led peace efforts as they strengthen unity and deepen national cohesion. Promotion of security. Your Majesty, security is very important to national stability and development. We are concerned that national security agencies entrusted with protecting citizens sometimes undermine that goal through excesses that violate human rights. I take it again, Your Majesty. Security is very important to national stability and development. We are concerned that national security agencies entrusted with protecting citizens sometimes undermine that goal through excesses that violate human rights. While we will ensure that journalists feel safer working with the police, even in sensitive security environment, and we trust in you. The fight against Galamsey. Your Majesty, one big enemy we must conquer to safeguard Ghana's future is Galamsey. It is now not just an environmental problem, but a full-blown national security threat, with perpetrators becoming bolder, more daring, and increasingly violent. Today, while we rejoice, we are equally sad because some of our colleagues couldn't join us here because they are on admission at the hospital fighting for their lives. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, they were among a group of journalists in the Ashanti region who accompanied officials of the Environmental Protection Authority, EPA, on a Galamsey assignment, and they were involved in an accident. They were supporting the fight against this never-ending problem of Galamsey. We wish them speedy recovery and wish them well. The National Executive of the GJA will take the necessary steps to facilitate their treatment. We appeal to individuals and corporate institutions to lend support in various forms, including insurance packages for victims of such hazards on the job. Recently, during a briefing, I listened to the EPA boss recount how Galamsey operators, aided by armed men in uniforms, branded as CID, attacked enforcement teams with heavy weapons. Your Excellency, Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, the GJA strongly condemns the cowardly attack on the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMO's boss or head. This outrageous act is not only a direct assault on the hardworking officers leading the fight against the destructive menace of illegal mining Galamsey, but also a grave affront to the authority of the state and the rule of law. It is an attack on Ghana's collective resolve to protect its environment, preserve its natural heritage, and secure the future of generations yet unborn. The GJA demands that the Ghana Police Service brief the nation on the progress of investigations and leave no stone unturned in identifying, arresting, and prosecuting all those responsible. And we demand that briefing in the coming week, Mr. IGP. Anything short of swift and firm justice will embolden lawlessness and erode public confidence in the state's ability to protect those who serve the national interest. The time to act decisively and to send a clear message that impunity will not be tolerated is now. The time to act is now. The happenings are chilling narratives, and they reveal how these Galamsey criminals are becoming bolder, more brutal, and better organized, operating like gangs of terrorists. This is deeply alarming. We must wake up as a nation before it is too late. Your Majesty, We once again want to commend Mr. President for his engagement with civil society organizations on the Galamsey menace. This is commendable, but more must be done, Mr. President. The time has come for a bold, symbolic step, one that communicates to Ghanaians and to the world that this government is fully committed to winning the war against Galamsey. Mr. President, permit me to suggest, with the greatest respect, that you consider issuing a policy statement which I have named it a Menchia Declaration, to mark a renewed and irreversible national resolve to defeat Galamsey once and for all. Such a declaration, made here at the palace of our patron, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, would carry both moral and political weight and reassure the nation that your government's eyes remain firmly on the ball. We also urge that more resources be committed to this fight. The latest Auditor General's report shows significant funds that could be recovered from financial mismanagement. These surcharged monies can and must be channeled into anti-Galamsey operations to strengthen the Environmental Protection Agency, equip security task forces, especially the NIMOs, and support journalists reporting from the front lines. We call upon the President to sanction a joint operations between the NIMOs and the media led by the GJA. Your Majesty, we also commend your unwavering and courageous stance against Galamsey. You have spoken boldly, acted firmly, and defended Asante-Man's land with honor. Respectfully, we urge you, Your Majesty, to continue using your revered influence to protect Asante-Man and to insist on being consulted before mining leases are granted within your jurisdiction. Such oversight will ensure that mining in Asante-Man is both responsible and sustainable. And with you in the aim of affair, I know you can stop mining, if not in Ghana, but in Ashanti region. The GJA assures both the President and Asante that we stand ready to support any drastic and lawful measures necessary to eradicate Galamsey from our country once and for all. We also want to appeal to the number 4 gentleman of the land, the acting Chief Justice, and the number 3, the Speaker of Parliament, to use their constitutional roles to strengthen the legal framework through firm judgment and progressive legislation, so that the punishment of environmental crimes truly serves as deterrent. Your Lordship, the Acting Chief Justice, we want to suggest a special court for Galamsey. We know recently there was a meeting with the President and the Auditor General on corruption. We want the same meeting to be held, so special court can be created for Galamsey, so Galamsey cases can be heard daily, on daily basis, so that perpetrators will face the full rigors of the law. In conclusion, Your Majesty, Your Excellency, I wish to urge my colleagues never to be afraid in our service to country and God. Even in the face of attacks, we should forge ahead to save our country from death. Our mission is to rescue the perishing and care for the dying, and attacks will not deter us from carrying that cross. I have always led the charge. We have dedicated our life for what? For the cause of this nation. To our award winners, I say congratulations for your remarkable achievement. May this recognition inspire you to continue striving for accuracy, fairness, and professionalism in your noble calling. For those who did not win, it is not because you are not good. It is only because this is not your time. Keep the faith, your time will come. As we celebrate excellence tonight, let us recommit ourselves to truth, fairness, and national interest. Let us remember that the pen is not just a tool, but a torchlight for justice. And in our hands lies the power to safeguard Ghana's peace, democracy, and environment for generations yet unborn. On this note, Your Majesty, Your Excellency, I wish to thank you all.
Prez. Once again, we say a big congratulations to Severius Kalideri and the Honorable Minister. Congratulations to you, Nabil Ahmed Rufai. As we live in an age of AI and as we try to be abreast of technology, that's what technology does with us. You, the journalists who always like to, first guess people and break the news. Well, the screen decided to break the news. Shall we do a big round of applause? Later on, we may be hearing some good news. But in the meantime, we'd like to say a very big congratulations to you, Nabil Ahmed Rufai. And this is where we say a big thank you to you, radio category. We're very grateful to the Ashanti Regional Minister, and at this time would like to respectfully welcome here onto the stage. We've arrived at the features category, and we'll begin with the best features print. Once again from the Daily Graphic, please help me congratulate Timothy Inyengbe. This is a symbolic pat on the back and just goes to tell you that we're expecting more from you in the next year in journalism practice in Ghana. Congratulations to you one more time, Timothy Inyengbe. And of course, Prof will remain here on the stage with us. English ladies and gentlemen, shall we now congratulate with another big round of applause, Sarah Apenkro, the winner from TV3 Media General. For all the young female journalists who are making inroads into the industry and wanting to make a name, and also most importantly, impact. We congratulate you one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more big round of applause. Rachel Kakraba of GBC. This honor, you should know that anytime there's a position available in GBC, vie for it because you would get support. Congratulations to you one more time. Great inspiration. We're very grateful to you. Winning the best documentary online. Thank you very much. Oheneba, we're grateful to winning this one for this year. Shall we do a big, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? This is your best columnist print. Congratulations to you.
The 39th Annual GJA Media Awards, hosted here at the historic Menchia Palace, the heart of our nation's cultural heritage, is unique. This gathering of Ghana's finest journalists, storytellers, and defenders of truth is more than an award ceremony. It is a celebration of courage, professionalism, and national service. We come together under a theme: safeguarding Ghana's future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against galamsey. This theme is both a reminder and a challenge. It reminds us of the indispensable role of the media in the architecture of our democracy, and it challenges us to reflect on the kind of nation we wish to bequeath to future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ghana recognizes the media as not just an institution, but as a lifeblood of our democracy. Our press has been a beacon of truth, a mirror of our society, and a catalyst for change. Through the stories you tell, the questions you ask, and the truths you uncover, you have given voice to the voiceless, enlightened hidden places, and also strengthened our national conscience. Government remains unwavering in its commitment to creating a safe, enabling, and conducive environment for media freedom and independence. It is for this reason that we continue to deepen the culture of tolerance, broaden access to information, and ensure the protection of journalists as they carry out their noble and often challenging duties. We are fully aware that the freedom, safety, and independence of the media are not privileges bestowed, but rights enshrined and guaranteed under our Constitution. It is therefore the solemn responsibility of the state to preserve, protect, and promote those rights without compromise. This commitment was powerfully reaffirmed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama earlier this week, when he swore into office a 7-member Right to Information Commission to oversee the effective implementation and enforcement of the Right to Information Act. This significant milestone is not merely symbolic. It is a concrete demonstration of government's unwavering dedication to transparency, accountability, and institutional readiness in ensuring full compliance with the dictates of the RTI law. It also reflects our collective resolve to build a governance culture anchored on openness, trust, and the people's right to know. As we reflect on this year's theme, we must recognize that the role of the media in safeguarding Ghana's future is both powerful and sacred. In an era of global uncertainty, technological disruption, and disinformation, the media stands as our compass, guiding public discourse, shaping national attitudes, and reminding us of who we are and what we stand for. We need a media that binds us together rather than one that tears us apart. A media that seeks truth just for the sake, not for the sake of sensation, but for the sake of national cohesion and collective welfare. A media that uplifts rather than divides. One that informs rather than inflames. When our reportage builds bridges instead of barriers, when our narratives promote understanding instead of suspicion, we strengthen the very foundation of our peace and security. Peace and security, ladies and gentlemen, are not the work of security forces alone. They are built every day in the stories you journalists publish, in the headlines you craft, in the questions you dare to ask, and in the tone of your commentary. Every journalist holds the power either to calm a storm or to ignite one. It is that sacred moral responsibility that defines true journalism, the kind that strengthens our national cohesion, nurtures understanding, and advances our shared destiny. It is in this spirit of shared responsibility that government affirms its deep conviction in the power of partnership, a partnership that bridges institutions, agencies, and all actors across our national life. For the work of safeguarding Ghana cannot be done in isolation. It requires unity of purpose, coordination of efforts, and harmony of intent. Above all, it calls for a strong, purposeful collaboration between the media, the security agencies, civil society, and government itself. For it is within this collective bond that the true strength of our nation resides, the strength to build a resilient, peaceful, and united Ghana. The relationship between journalists and the security services, therefore, must never be one marked by suspicion or rivalry, but one anchored in mutual respect, trust, and shared duty. Both are guardians of the same national vision. Both serve the same people, uphold the same constitution, and defend the same peace. Journalists safeguard the truth, while the security services safeguard order. Together, they form the twin pillars upon which Ghana's democracy stands, strong, balanced, and enduring. Ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we reaffirm our total commitment to protecting the sacred space for free expression. We shall continue to build a society where journalists can work without fear or favor, where truth can flourish without suppression, and where constructive criticism is met with dialogue, not hostility. We are determined to ensure that Ghana remains a beacon of press freedom on the African continent. Let us therefore live here today with renewed determination to build bridges across the media and the state, to strengthen the bond between journalists and the security services, and to advance together as partners in peace and progress. Let this year's award serve not only as a recognition of excellence, but as a call to service and a reminder that the pen, the camera, and the microphone remain some of the most powerful tools for national transformation. May we all continue to tell the Ghanaian story with honesty, courage, and hope. May our words bring healing, our reports inspire change, and our platforms promote unity. And may our beloved country, Ghana, continue to shine as a symbol of peace, freedom, and truth. I thank you all for your attention.
The National Media Commission extends its warm congratulations to the Ghana Journalists Association on the occasion of the 29th Media Awards. As an association, the GJA is committed to upholding professional integrity while ensuring the dignity and safety of journalists. And this event stands as a testimony to that goal. For the National Media Commission, the goals that underscore the GJA's Media Award align with our core mandate, for it serves as a benchmarking event which guides ethics, values, and integrity. Such standards, central to high-quality journalism, are reflected not only in linguistic expression, but accuracy in reporting, balance and objectivity in coverage and content. The push to induce pleasure and attract audiences in this highly competitive plural media space still calls for a strict adherence to professional ethics. And for us, this awards ceremony stands as a testimony to that. So while we acknowledge the significance of this occasion to the GJA, we also stress that its importance extends to the very core of our national life. Because recognizing and rewarding merit is central to all societies. It motivates individuals to maintain high standards, uphold principles, and safeguard values. While we salute the efforts that has kept this event alive and growing since its inception in 1985, we also laud the efforts that have enhanced the credibility and sincerity of the awards presented, as well as the expansion of awards categories in keeping with rapid technological advancement in the media. We commend the effort to remain relevant to nation building. As I listen to the speech of the President, we can see how the theme for the year, working to safeguard Ghana's future by affirming the role of the media in the national struggle against galamsey, is very apt. Because such determination affirms the GJA's role in promoting information sharing as a mobilizing platform to address national problems. So I urge that you let your critical and objective lens lead to enduring solutions to the near existential crisis that is facing our nation. For the award winners, we congratulate those who have already received your awards and those who are yet to receive your awards. We are confident that the recognition will spur you to even higher standards. And whoever has won in whichever category, we know will stand as a standard waiting to be beaten. And as the GJA president said, for those who did not win, these should stand as a standard that you want to equal or, at best, even work for increasing distinction in the practice of journalism for nation building in Ghana. The sponsors deserve commendation, and even more so, Otumfo Osei Tutu II. It is through such support that deserving individuals are recognized and rewarded, serving as models for others. So I also like to commend the planning committee and all those who have worked, especially those who have worked in the background, the invisible ones, for ensuring that this award ceremony comes on and is successful. So I would like to wish long life to the GJA Media Awards. Long live credible journalism in the service of Ghana, and long live Ghana. I thank you all.
Congratulations one more time, Doreen Ampofo. And it's our hope that at this space, you will keep returning here as we get ourselves ready for the 30th edition of this awards. Congratulations to you one more time.
The President and members of the Ghana Journalists Association, Nananom here present, Ministers of State, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. In our tradition, one does not enter the house of a great king without knocking. So, when the doors of a palace such as this, home to wisdom, history, and royal grace are open to you, you do not walk in casually, you enter with gratitude. The Menchia Palace is not a mere royal residence. It is a living archive of culture and conscience, and a symbol of harmony between authority and the people. Your Majesty, to gather here, therefore, under your gracious watch, to deliberate on the future of our nation is an honor of profound measure. Nana Onkwaso. Ghana man Dawasi. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it is both a privilege and a solemn responsibility to address this gathering on a theme that touches the very soul of our beloved country. Quote, safeguarding Ghana's future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against galamsey, end quote. As we gather under this noble theme, we are invited to pause and look at who we have become, what we are becoming, and what we might yet lose if silence thrones over truth. This theme is not an academic question, but a living score, one that echoes through the dry riversides of our mining towns, from Takwa to Tongo, across the rustling leaves of our dwindling forests, and into the restless hearts of a people who still believe that Ghana can do better. Every nation that loses its sense of truth loses its future. Today, as our country confronts the twin crisis of insecurity and environmental destruction, we must ask ourselves, who will awaken our conscience and who will guard the truth that leads to the peace we seek? The answer, I believe, lies in the power and responsibility of the media. That sacred bridge that lies between the governed and the governors, between silence and voice, between decay and renewal. Your Majesty, peace, security, and the fight against galamsey are not separate stories, but threads of one national fabric. When one is torn, the others unravel. A polluted river is not merely an environmental concern. It is a quiet threat to peace itself. For where hunger flows, conflict often follows. And when our forests fall silent and our farmlands sink beneath the mud and mercury, we lose more than trees and crops. We lose our very livelihoods, our dignity, and the promise of tomorrow. This is why the fight against galamsey is not simply an environmental campaign. It is a moral struggle for the soul of our nation, a struggle between short-term good and long-term survival. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah once urged us to only face forward. Today, facing forward means confronting the truth that the gold we dig so recklessly from the belly of the earth will yet bury our children's tomorrow. Our rivers no longer smile. Their waters have turned the color of sorrow. The children who once fetched water from them now dig into their banks for specks of gold. Schools now stand half empty, and the laughter of learning has been replaced by the clinking of metal on stone. Our nation stands at a defining moment where peace and security must not be taken for granted, and where the future of our environment, and indeed our children, hang in the balance. Illegal mining or galamsey remains one of the gravest challenges confronting our country. It has destroyed our rivers, poisoned our soil, and displaced communities. But beyond the visible scars on the land, Galamsey represents a deeper wound, a failure of collective responsibility. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the fight against environmental degradation cannot be waged in silos. It demands a strong partnership between the executives, the legislature, the judiciary, the media, and civil society. Each arm of government and each institution must perform its constitutional role with integrity, accountability, and respect for the rule of law. When the media operates responsibly, with responsibility, the judiciary with impartiality, and the executive with transparency, the foundation of our democracy remains firm and unshakable. Today, I salute journalists who risk their lives to expose corruptions, terrorism, and other criminal networks, those who defend the Republic by unveiling the shadows of those set against it. When the media and the security services act as partners in vigilance, rather than adversaries in suspicion, the nation sleeps more safely. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, perhaps nowhere is the role of the media more visible and crucial than in the fight against Galamsey. The story of this struggle is written not only in scars of our landscape, but also in the courage of journalists who dare to show them. We remember Erastus Asaredanko, a journalist who, with little more than a camera and conviction, brought to light the hidden wounds of our forests and rivers. That is nation building, and that is patriotism. The Galamsey Must Stop campaign, initiated by the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, began in modesty in 2018, but it soon jolted the entire nation into action. These and similar efforts are deeply commendable. Let the media continue to dig, not for gold, but for truth, and let them excavate the complicity, expose further the kingpins, and awaken our moral imagination as a people. The gold beneath our feet must not blind us to the dust settling on our conscience. It must not. As we celebrate these afternoon's awardees, the men and women whose courage and professionalism continue to strengthen our democracy, let us be reminded that journalism, much like justice, is not a profession of comfort, but one of service, sacrifice, and stewardship. Your Excellency, Your Royal Majesty, as I have often said, speeches must mean something beyond mere words. They must stir us to action, for if they do not move us, they serve no purpose. So I say to you this afternoon, let us leave this speech. Let it not end in mere applause, but in awakening. Let every newsroom become a sanctuary of truth, every camera a mirror of conscience, and every microphone a trumpet for peace. The task before the media is not an easy one, but the destiny of the nation has always rested on the courage of those who speak truth to power and hold the mirror steady, even when the reflection is painful. If we defend peace with our words and protect our rivers with our voices, then perhaps the next time we gather here, the Pra, Densu, or even Ankobra will be smiling again, and Ghana's children will laugh, not from the pits of the earth, but from the classroom of possibility. For in the end, the pen and the camera, when guided by truth, are mightier than the excavator and champagne that scar our blood. May we therefore make truth our compass, justice our path, and peace our reward. For Ghana is not a story to be told, but a future to be safeguarded. Thank you for your attention. And may God bless you, our homeland.
With your permission, Metonum Bako Akamo and Samako. Messasus Chia Your Papa, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, Messiah Nibrapi, Michiao, Daddy, Achi, some man who wait to me and come a money test on how I make a but you have number on chest to nothing, educated to us, my dad. It may be a mistake. They are sending far every time now. It may be a mistake. Now you are 2 years, 7, 24, 5 children. Now, the mic may be sharing Kukrona, my guest chest no. I am from my right. But also, me Casano. Now, me chest sound man say, so to me in a stage. Now we move back. Echo no. What to me no man time no. Fa tieno na ye possible we mono emma the main speaker no time no it is delay them until engineer ama agudi I and I answer there no my okay microphone back to where you have to be. Officer Mr. Kofi President of the GJA Awards for this. We are perfect. Now the best why are here. So without much ado, send a young seminal and fun. Member MC now that was party. Yes, our after party dinner. I wish ya.
Congratulations once again to you, Mahama India. This is, ladies and gentlemen, your best reporter, Eagle Line. Something very constant, something that brings us radio station 6097.3. Congratulations to the team.
Country broadcasting, blending news, culture, and entertainment with professionalism by engaging communities, amplifying local voices, and consistently delivering content that informs, educates, and entertains. Peace FM continues to set the standard for excellence in radio. The Ghana Journalists Association proudly recognizes Peace FM as the best country radio station.
Shall we welcome our friends from Peace 104.3 FM to receive
this honor of being named the best country radio station for the year 2024. Congratulations to you one more time.
Congratulations to Peace FM.
Congratulations to the team of media, specifically the showbiz agency TV.
For his patronage of this event. It's not everybody who gets the opportunity to have the O204 come and sit through several hours of an award ceremony. And I will thank you very much. Let me also commend the president of the GJA, the only person who is the president of the president. He's my president because I've been a long-standing member of the Ghana Journalists Association. I want to congratulate Albert Jumfo on his re-election for a second term as GJA president and for the wonderful work that he's been doing. He's raised the level of the GJA and he's made all of us members proud of the GJA. I was asking him whether he was going to amend the constitution to be able to run a third term. So thank you very much, His Lordship, the acting Chief Justice, and the senior ministers of state, our sponsors, KGL, and all our security services, IGP, members of parliament, and members of the media fraternity. I want to say it's with great pride that I stand before you today, not only as President of the Republic, but also as a dedicated and proud member of the Ghana Journalists Association. The GJA has over the years been more than just a professional organization. It has served as a crucial pillar in developing our democratic landscape, enhancing accountability, and advocating for those often unheard in our national conversations. The brave effort of Ghanaian journalists have guaranteed that our nation remains committed to the ideals of transparency, justice, and truth. Through your vigilance, issues that might have stayed hidden have been exposed. Through your dedication, leaders like myself included are reminded that public office is a trust and not a privilege. The framers of our 1992 Constitution recognized the essential role of the media in our democracy, and that is why they dedicated an entire chapter, chapter 12, to the freedom and independence of the press. In doing so, they placed journalism at the center of our democratic experiment. The media is not just a bystander in national life. It is an institution of state, constitutionally protected, whose vitality shapes the quality of our democracy. If I were to give a brief review to those who wrote the Constitution in 1992, I would happily state to them that through their work, the producers, reporters, editors, videographers, anchors, bloggers, and designers, this sacred duty that they gave them is being carried out with increasing excellence and renewed relevance each year. The media have bridged the gap between the governed and the governors, fostered civic awareness, and held the mighty and powerful to account. However, I must also recognize areas of concern. The decline in our press freedom rankings is a worrying concern to all of us. The increasing threats against journalists and the rising culture of misinformation. Ghana's record on the Press Freedom Index has deteriorated. In 2016 and 2017, we stood tall as a beacon of media independence in Africa. Our journalists worked without fear. The public debate thrived. In recent years, I must say that promise has faded. The 2025 Press Freedom Index, reflecting the conditions of the press in 2024, recorded another unfortunate decline, signaling that our recovery remains fragile. Ghana therefore faces a defining choice: to accept this gradual slide or to consciously reclaim our place as Africa's torchbearer of media freedom. My administration has chosen the latter. We're dedicated to restoring the spirit of pre-2017, when freedom of expression, institutional respect, and journalistic safety characterized the Ghanaian democratic experience. I recall that during your visit to the presidency, the GJA urged me to expedite investigations into acts of violence that took place during the 2020 and 2024 elections, causing death and harm to some of our compatriots, including journalists. I'm pleased to report that the investigations are complete. A total of 21 individuals have been identified, 4 have been arrested and released on bail, 5 remain on remand, and warrants have been issued for the remaining suspects. The Attorney General is currently reviewing the report to determine the appropriate legal action and appropriate compensations for victims or their families. Justice will be pursued under the law. The victims deserve closure, and the perpetrators will face the consequences of their actions. I've also directed the Minister responsible for government communications and the Minister responsible for national security to create a permanent forum for constructive engagement between the security services and the media to foster mutual respect and prevent such future incidents. Let me be unequivocal. Under my leadership, this government will neither sanction nor tolerate any form of intimidation, interference, or attacks on journalists. But my colleagues of the GJA, freedom must be balanced with responsibility. The credibility of journalism depends on our integrity, accuracy, and fairness. Too often, the race to break the story first results in unverified publications and damage to reputations of persons. We need to strengthen both internal and cross-media systems for verifying stories and making corrections. Just as colleagues accept peer review, we as journalists should also adopt peer accountability. If one platform misreports, others have a duty to correct. The integrity of the media must be safeguarded from both external interference and internal decay. When falsehood flourishes, democracy suffers. When sensationalism displaces substance, citizens lose trust. Friends of the media, Your Royal Majesty, the need for responsible regulation is real. The same digital tools that democratize information now also enable hate, defamation, impersonation, and cyberbullying. Therefore, the Cybersecurity Amendment Bill 2025 and the Misinformation and Disinformation Bill currently before Parliament are not meant to restrict expression, but to safeguard citizens and uphold truth in the digital realm. I recognize that the GJA and civil society have raised some legitimate concerns. Let me assure you that these concerns will be addressed transparently and constructively. Our aim is to extend the ethical standards of traditional journalism into the digital space without infringing on constitutional freedoms. Freedom of expression does not include freedom to ruin reputations. Freedom of expression does not include freedom to threaten lives or incite violence. And as I've often said, the boundaries of free speech is speech that endangers peace and human dignity. My administration will continue engaging directly with the media. The interactive session I held on 10th September marked the beginning of a series of regular dialogues between the presidency and the Ghanaian media. The next such interaction will take place next year to commemorate the first anniversary of my government. We're also reactivating the Media Development Fund after extensive consultation with stakeholders. The fund will support capacity building, welfare, investigative journalism, digital literacy, and safety training, ensuring that journalists can work confidently, competently, and securely. The theme of tonight's event reminds us that protecting Ghana's future requires a united stand against illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey. This is not a matter of convenience, it is essential for our very survival as a nation. The fight against illegal mining is complex and challenging. Illegal mining has so deeply ingrained itself in the fabric of our society that despite the obvious damage it causes to our environment, entire communities mobilize and confront security personnel when they arrive to combat illegal mining operations in their areas. Only yesterday, I received news of an accident in which some journalists were injured as they retreated from a community mob attack on EPA officials and security officers. I wish to notify communities that attack public officials and security personnel performing their lawful duties that firm action will be taken against them. Yesterday, upon receipt of the news, I instructed the Chief of Staff to contact the journalists who were injured to check on their health and assist with settling any hospital bills incurred. I can understand that our young people have been deprived of opportunity over the years, but destroying the environment is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. The government is working hard to stabilize and grow the economy in order to create a conducive environment for job creation and employment. And that is why we're implementing the 24-hour economy initiative, the Feed Ghana program, the Poultry Revitalization Program, the National Apprenticeship Program, the Million Coders Program, amongst many others, which are intended to create opportunities for alternative livelihoods, especially for our young people in rural areas. Additionally, through the Tree for Life Reforestation Program and the Blue Water Guards Initiative, we are restoring degraded lands and protecting our river bodies while creating thousands of jobs for young people in affected communities. I've asked the Minister of Finance to increase the budget allocation so we can recruit more youth into forest replanting and Blue River Guards to safeguard our water bodies. These youth are to be recruited from communities that are affected by illegal mining and will receive a monthly stipend of 1,500 Ghana cedis every month. I wish to commend journalists like Erastus Asaridonko and my dear brother Ohiming, who won the Best Reporter on Illegal Mining, and many others who persist in exposing environmental crime at great personal risk to themselves. Your bravery is noted, it is patriotic, and your efforts strengthen our moral reserve to continue the fight against illegal mining. I wish to assure you as your president that I will never, never give up the fight. We do have some good news though. The EPA has begun a pilot reclamation of some mined-out lands under a PPP model. I'm pleased to inform that the first pilot covers an area of 1,000 hectares of land. The reclaimed land is to be replanted with fast-growing trees and some economic tree species such as oil palm. If this is successful, we estimate that about 30,000 hectares of land have been destroyed by illegal mining. If it's to be successful, we'll continue it to cover the 30,000 hectares of land that have been destroyed. Your Royal Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, our broader reset agenda is based on integrity, competence, and accountability. We are restoring trust in public institutions through reforms that include 1, a national anti-corruption framework integrating procurement and expenditure monitoring systems. 2, a civil service pay for performance which will reward merit and productivity. A reformed Office of the Special Prosecutor with enhanced prosecutorial powers. Digitization of our judicial processes under the Justice Sector Renewal Program. And the introduction of a new law to regulate the divestiture of state assets and require parliamentary approval for divestment of state assets exceeding a specified value. These are not mere promises, they are essential reforms focused on restoring the moral and administrative foundations of our republic. Our development vision is centered on people, inclusive and sustainable development. Through the 24-hour economy initiative, we are stimulating round-the-clock production and service delivery, creating jobs, supporting industry, and enhancing logistics. The Big Push infrastructure program is also investing 38.5 billion Ghana cedis in roads, hospitals, and digital infrastructure. The Feed Ghana Industry Program links agriculture to processing and exports, ensuring value addition and food security. All these initiatives form part of a larger moral vision to ensure Ghana's development never comes at the cost of its soul or its environment. Your Majesty, Nana Osei Tutu II, as we move towards another election season, the media's role in preserving the peace and security of our nation cannot be overstated. Let us shun hate speech Let's avoid inflammatory rhetoric and verify before we broadcast. Freedom of speech is not a right to sow division. The National Dialogue on Peace and Security, which involves media and faith-based leaders, aims to encourage responsible communication and early detection of conflict triggers. Peace is not the absence of noise, it's the harmony of hearts. The media must serve as a rhythm that sustains that harmony. Tonight, as President of the Republic, on behalf of all Ghanaians, I salute every journalist who continue to speak truth to power, often at significant personal risk. Your integrity strengthens our democracy. To the young journalists here tonight, remember that journalism is not just a profession, it is a calling. It demands courage, humility, and unwavering dedication to the truth. To the GGA, I want to thank you for your partnership in nation building. To our distinguished award winners, I wish to say congratulations. Your work gives meaning to our democracy and gives hope to our people. And to His Majesty, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, your leadership in promoting peace and unity remains an enduring inspiration to us all. Under your wise guidance, Ashanti continues to symbolize harmony and national pride. In conclusion, let us remember the words of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, he says, "The press must be the vigilant watchdogs of the people and not the lapdogs of the powerful. You must be the vigilant watchdogs of the people and not the lapdog of the powerful." My administration would uphold that vigilance. We will safeguard press freedom, we will protect journalists, and ensure that truth remains the foundation of our governance. Under my government, no journalist will have to flee into exile for fear of their lives. Together, governments, media, and citizens, we can build a Ghana that is ethical in governance, honest in speech, peaceful in spirit, and united in purpose. May the pen always remain mightier than fear. May truth continue to light our path, and may God continue to bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you. He hasn't told you his home name. I said, Niyama, Ngbegbe kenda yo. Niyama Ngbeshito yo, Keshito Aba. But he's done very well. Nathaniel, well done.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And you know, back in the time, Otumfuo, my father had bought a brand new car and decided to park the brand new car outside and keep his old Mercedes in the garage. And he has power. He had power all the way back then. So he would come home and say, Nyama, go and park the Mercedes outside and park the new one in the garage. Your Excellency, thank you so much. And now, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a moment of surprise. Respectfully, I'd like to invite the President of the GJA.
With your permission, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, the Ghana Journalists Association, on this occasion of the 29th Media Awards, celebrates you for your invaluable support. Your city, Kumasi, hosted its first GJA Awards in history, indicating our appreciation for your efforts towards social development through your golden stool. Your acceptance to serve as patron for this event is also greatly appreciated. as we champion the betterment of society, we pray that you will make an even bigger impact in the years to come. Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei II, we're grateful. Thank you very much. And this is what
is a symbol of appreciation, one which has various symbols of the Dinkra, which have various cultural meanings, with the emblem of the Ashanti school, the golden stool, there in the center.
And also, thank you, Royal Trumpeters, thank you. And also, thank you. And also, Your Majesty, your son, the president of the GJA, wants you to know that there is another special plaque that has been imported, which will be presented to you on another special date. And all of this is to say thank you to you for your unwavering support for us, and for ensuring that you gave us this kind of massive support to bring this award ceremony here. It means a great deal to us. And we're also saying by this that we're grateful to you for the advocacy, your show of power, and the disciplinary measures you have taken against some of the chiefs who have gone against your orders when it comes to illegal mining. We're grateful to you, sir. May the good Lord bless you and give you life, and may you live long. May you live long. May you live long. God bless you, sir. (2024) reads,
some stories demand courage, some truths require persistence, and some journalists go beyond reporting to illuminate, to challenge, and transform society. The winner of the coveted prize is one such journalist. Through unwavering commitment to excellence, integrity, and public interest storytelling, this journalist has consistently delivered news that not only informs, but inspires and empowers communities across Ghana. His works reflect the highest standards of ethical journalism, blending insight, depth, and courage to give voice to the voiceless and shine light on issues that shape the nation. With every story, this journalist demonstrates that journalism is not just a profession, but a responsibility to the people, a commitment to truth, and a catalyst for change. His award-winning television documentary, Dreams in Shambles, powerfully exposed the harsh realities confronting Ghana's rural education system, with a compelling focus on the struggles of young girls in Gono Northern Region. In recognition of exceptional professionalism, impactful storytelling, and dedication to advancing the standards of journalism in Ghana, the Ghana Journalists Association proudly confers the title of Journalist of the Year at the 29th GJA Media Awards on the young man who actually just won the best journalist with the BBC, African journalist.
Ladies and gentlemen, Godwin Asadiba,
CB3 Media General. Congratulations to you.
Can we keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen? Godwin Asadiba of TV3 at Media General, being named the PAV Answer GJA Journalist of the Year.
This is not Godwin, by the way. Godwin is all the way in London, I believe, but this is his very able team. Congratulations, Godwin, wherever you are. Well done. And congratulations to Media General. So Godwin, we understand, has a speech, and it will be read by one of his colleagues, George, very briefly.
Godwin is in the UK and turning at the BBC as part of his award as the recipient of the Komla Dumo Award. And if you were here, this is what you'd have said. And I fought hard to be here for this moment, even after my connecting flight was cancelled. As you all may know, I have been in London serving my BBC stint following my win of this year's Komla Dumo Award. Tonight, I stand deeply humbled. To be named Journalist of the Year affirms the power of truth and journalism's vital role in Ghana's democracy. And this award belongs to any reporter who chooses courage over comfort. My journey has led to hopeless places where ordinary people bear extraordinary pain, waiting to be heard. In neglected communities, I've seen Ghana yearning for fairness. Investigative journalism means long nights, unanswered calls, and the risk of losing everything, but truth must prevail. Yet, as we celebrate, we cannot ignore the harassment our profession faces. And days ago, journalists were injured in a road accident while carrying illegal mining with the EPA in the Ashanti region. These attacks assault democracy itself. When journalists are silenced, corruption thrives. Past governments have fought Galamsey but lost lives, including the unforgettable helicopter crash. Demand priority action. No story is worth a life, but no society is safe when truth is buried. We need stronger protection, accountability, and outrage when journalists are harmed. A free press must be protected in practice, not just law. To my TV3 team, editors, mentors, and colleagues, thank you for holding the line. To my family, especially my prayer warrior mother, Amayabo Asidiba, this is yours too. To Ghanaians who trust me with your truths, this honor is yours. Ghana journalism, our future depends on fearless questioning, ethical reporting, and humane storytelling. Young journalists, never let fear silence your pen or convenience buy your conscience. Truth outlasts intimidation. I carry the voiceless and Ghana's belief in journalism's difference. Thank you, Ghana Journalists Association. Thank you, brave journalists. Thank you, Ghana, for believing in truth.
Congratulations one more time, Godwin Asidiba. His speech read on his behalf by George. Congratulations to the entire team of Media General. We'll now